So, the difference between showing and telling. In a way, it's an artificial distinction because everything in a story is telling. We're telling a story. But when people talk about the difference between showing and telling, they're talking about the difference between dramatising something and summarising it. Now, sometimes it is appropriate to summarise. You don't need to take your character through every sort of blowing of the nose and toilet trip or whatever that goes in their day. Obviously, there are times when you need to summarise something. And if something goes on for quite a long time and isn't particularly important, then it's fine to say it was 7 days later, or it was 2 weeks before he realised, or Mum hurried everybody out of the house and it wasn't until. Those kind of joining things which are summary are absolutely fine. And, there are often times in the story when we don't need to know a blow-by-blow account. But often, what we tend to do as writers is summarise scenes that are actually quite tricky to write. And sometimes we're being quite lazy. And instead of going a dramatisation of what's going on, we summarise. So it might be something like, Eric couldn't believe it, but he heard that Jack intended to burn down the barn. Okay, it's a bit boring, but in fact that's a really it would be better perhaps to dramatise that. Eric crept down beside the side of the barn. He heard footsteps behind him. He flattened himself against the side of the barn where the shadows were deepest. "We're really going to do it then," said Jack gruffly. Eric couldn't see who he was speaking to. "You are, or are you being a wuss?" said a second voice he didn't recognise. "I think we should do it tomorrow," Eric said in an undertone, and Jack could hear the flick of his zip lighter as he lit his cigarette. "Okay, I'll bring the petrol." You can see what I'm getting at. You can make it into something really, really interesting and dramatic. So when people say show, don't tell, what they mean is get into the story moment with your character, be there in real time, experiencing the moment in a dramatic way, and see what's going on, rather than the narrator just simply telling you about it from a distance. Does that help? I hope it does.